Oh, you're just a little closer.
This is a pairing you haven't seen yet
I know.
today.
Troublesome duo, for sure.
The Myers Bros.
Meyer, bro.
Take that, or Mario. I guess we could
No.
do one of these Halloween. Halloween AG doesn't exist yet, but
No, we'll get there. We're going to
I
be
could
here
do
all
Mario,
year.
You can do Luigi.
Why do I have to be Luigi?
Because I'm definitely Mario.
What do you mean? What is that supposed to be?
Literally more. Oh my gosh, we got haters in the chat. We're gonna go straight to match info because they are
Going real
playing
fast.
Levia.
Levia, Allen. Whoa, against Peter. We're going to be playing Katsu versus Levia today.
I think this is our first Katsu on stream today, so that should be
I don't
fun to
know if
watch.
that's correct.
No, there's like 6 of them.
There's a lot of them out there. You're going to be seeing more in your local meta. Allen on Levia, though, is a first, I'm pretty sure, for this event.
Look at this token. I think that's the whole reason he's on
he's-
stream right now. He's 3-0. Maybe he's on stream because he's 3-0 then.
Yeah. People will always doubt Allen and some of his deck builds for sure, but he proves that as a player, he fundamentally knows his math, and if you don't respect his build, he will for sure win. And Levia is literally just here. From my understanding, and I talked to him, this is just Reinhardt with 2 Levia cards.
What are the 2 Levia cards? The 6? The 6 blues?
We're gonna get a list coming up here. I don't know those 2 Levia cards, but talking to him prior last night at a outsiders draft, he said that that's the plan, and so far it's working. I mean, Reinhardt's good.
I think what's interesting is when you're saying Reinhardt it's Reinhardt with 2 different Levia cards. You're gonna lose out on Alpha Rampage and you're gonna lose on Sand Sketch Plan, but those aren't that big of a deal.
It's mostly
And-
they're just Reinhardt cards.
And then the thought process is Intimidate is a good mechanic when you're trying to close out the game, but it's not that great for the first 85% of the game. So maybe you are giving your opponent the chance to like donate cards to you to make your turns more consistent when they can't come back and fight you.
All right, so we do have the deck list here. How's the Katsu list looking, Blake?
We have Razor Reflex, Command and Conquer. We got it
Classics.
all. Art of War 3.
Classic Katsu.
We're going to try to Maginchi release a whole bunch, I guess. 2 floating dojos will be visited. And Dishonor. Dishonor is, I think what's interesting is, does Peter know the idea of there's not very many Blood Deck cards in here? Or did you say, I'm guessing there won't be too many Blood Deck cards.
No, there isn't. I'm looking at it currently right now. You have things like Smash Instinct, Smash the Big Tree, Swing Big,
Right.
Humble. You have a full rainbow set of pummels because you just smash as Reinhardt. I'm trying to find where the 2 Levia cards are, and I think it's Deadwood.
Maws right here.
Endless Maw, and then I guess he has some Deadwood Rumblers in
That's
there.
that's the blue 6.
That's the blue, blue 6. So just some Levia sprinkled in there, but mostly I think of a classic Brute build. Less
Great.
Shadow. No Husk currently.
Interesting.
I talked to him about that. I said, Husk is great, right? And he said, nah, I like Tunic better. And I was like, okay, Alan, you know him better than me.
And that's another Levia card. That's our 1 Soul Harvest going straight into. That's another blue 6. Interesting block. We're just going to block 6. Start it off. And now I think it's interesting. Let's just watch Peter go to work. I think this is going to be somebody who will be on the forefront of breaking Katsu soon.
Yeah.
He's helped break Phi probably. He's won a couple. He won a major tournament as Phi.
Yeah.
Unless I'm making stuff up. I think maybe he got a top 8.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
that time
he has some really great placements. I'm pretty sure he did win a calling or battle hardened
on Phi.
a Saturday or Sunday event that had a lot of players in it.
And battle hardened on Kano. So
Yep.
if the Kano's waiting for him later in today, he's going to be all kinds of matchup knowledge for today.
He's gonna do a quick play with Like Water. He's gonna pay the effect for Like Water, giving it a name. I obviously can't know what that name is just yet. I think
Hero Power 2. I think most of the time it's going to be Surging Strike. If it happens at the beginning.
correct.
And now we're probably going to go grab a Gust Wave color that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just zooming. He's going to choose the other Gust Wave, not the one you remember, the Descendant Gust Wave. This is a 0 for 5. So a 0 for 3 that says pay 1 to enable a 0 for 5. So it's actually 1 resource for, what is this, 8 damage?
It's super great on value for sure. And this is only the second chain. Ninjas play usually up to the 4th chain, if not more. And this is going to be probably more blocking because I see Allen having a Beast within hand, and that's a big card for swinging ahead in damage. Gonna give Scabs real early. gonna do a Fate for Scene real early. Both these
Mhm.
players play insanely fast. They
This
know,
will be over in 7 to 8
yeah,
minutes. Top.
they know exactly what their decks do. And this is gonna be like a beautiful game to watch. I think definitely go grab some
I think what I
snacks.
was trying to say earlier, but I didn't get it out, is I think Peter's going to go for this honor, not
Okay,
knowing that it doesn't really affect Alan's game plan.
I think so too.
And so this would be a game winning play most of the time where Alan's just going to go, shrug,
Okay,
thanks for nothing.
I don't have blood.
I don't need my hero power anyway.
Alan, always with the mind games. He has 2 claws right now. One of them's white, one of them's CF. They are
Jeez.
both the left or the right. They're both left claw. I'm pretty sure. No, they're both right claw, and his Levia is all torn up and trashed.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
Is there a story of we drove over that on purpose or it just got that bad in his bag?
he just felt like that's what he needed to do to express himself, Blake, and I'm loving it.
I love creative expression. Here
Yeah.
comes the dishonor. If Alan just says take 4, I think maybe that's a not a green light, but that would be a signal to Peter of like, I'm just gonna do whatever the heck I want this game. But Alan knows
yeah.
different.
It's crazy how fast Peter went to the dishonor too. So he has one in hand because he had to banish it to get the other one.
Right.
So having early dishonor seems really powerful, and later dishonor is not as so. So now he's dishonored. He gave it to Alan.
That's so disrespectful, honestly.
He says,
if
"Here,
somebody
you are
put
dishonored."
a dishonor on my hero,
Oh,
I would literally throw it back
man,
across.
dude. Here
Yeah.
you go. Alan said, "Yeah, we're gonna put that underneath." Okay,
Jeez.
we're gonna.
He's so mad. What was that? And I have 40 health and you
get
have
this.
29. Evan's laughing at it. I know Alan's probably not laughing inside. Blood Rush
Bellow.
Bellow.
Peter's not gonna be laughing for much longer after this
Yeah,
Blood Rush Bellow.
get wrecked.
All
I
right,
have
Alan.
6s in hand.
Never,
probably.
yeah, it's not random. Alan's shuffling like there's a chance that he could miss. I never see Alan miss. They're probably both 2 6s in hand.
I think he's trying to be like, no, we're dishonoring taking that. Random. Love how random this is sometimes. Beast Within
Beast
is
Within.
a hit and a half right now.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna Beast Within off the top.
Reckless.
1 damage, 2
Unmovable
damage.
blue. Smash Instinct.
Oh.
Hack Hunt blue.
He's running these blues?
East Strike.
Oh my
Hummel.
god, Alan. Oh my god.
Found it after that.
He got a
many.
blue one.
How much is that?
That is literally
1,
it's gonna
2.
go to 21. I think.
Oh man, believe it or not, I've seen Alan Beast Within a worse dig and still win. So please don't count him out just yet. This is going to be a spicy game. Dishonored and a Beast Within for 6.
Then he still has to draw 2
7
cards off
because
the
of the one he
top.
drew.
That
Alright.
was bad. But if you want to look at the silver lining of that, there was going to be some bad turns offensively for Alan that now he just zooms through.
Alright.
There's no intimidate.
There's no intimidate. He laid it out because he thought he was playing Reinhardt, and that's literally the build. That's so fun. Well, if you didn't put your card over the Levia, you would know it's not
Yes.
Reinhardt, man.
If I was Alan right now, I would be not crying inside, but he's definitely a better player than me because if someone threw dishonor on my hero and then I did 8 damage to myself off Beast Within, I would be so mad.
Oh man.
But this isn't about me. This is a claw for 5
oh,
with
man.
Bogan.
He is 3-0, and I've seen him in situations like this. Going to be an interesting game. I imagine Peter won't be doing much of blocking as traditional Reinhardt. Just a lot of vanilla, of vanilla, and Peter's ahead by 20 life. Why block?
But this is going to get him. I think he's going to probably end the turn at like low 20s, though, because
100%.
there's going to be something gross here.
Double claw on a Blood Rush Bellow is disgusting. You never want to block them, and they have go again, and that's just 10 damage.
Is that an Enlightened Strike in Alan's hand? Or no?
It does look like an Enlightened Strike.
She's going to save for later.
But he now will Smash Instinct, which is a Brood card, so it's going to intimidate.
And 7 + 2 is 9, so it's going to be a big 9 coming in.
Big 9.
He's going to say, let's...
Alan did the math
tie.
so fast, he knew all of that. And he's like, oh, okay, we're still even. And he was able to slap back.
So 21 in an Arsenal card versus 21 in a 4-card hand.
He would have been ahead by 7 health if he didn't get the Beast with it. Oh, man. So,
He said, I'm not going to blood debt, but I'm actually going to do the most damage to you I've ever done in my life. Art of War means get ready.
Yep.
Crane Dance in the Vanish. Nobody cares about Crane Dance. That's just an enabler.
Correct. Good Art of War.
I think Peter plays so fast that whenever you see him hesitate for a second, you are kind of being like, great.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Alan. Every time I'm playing against Alan and he doesn't respond to my playing within a second, I feel like I've won.
Hell
I made him think for like 2 seconds. Oh man. Most of the time though, he just slaps a card down and I'm like, okay, Alan.
Alan choosing to use the old school thought of you never block surging because there's going to be worse stuff later. So, what could be the worst stuff? Here's a Whelming Gust Wave that's banished
Yep.
or discarded. So he's going to go get the other Gust Wave? No, he's going to get Bonds of Ancestry.
He only has
so
one in hand, yeah.
He has one in hand. Interesting. I kind of I've been having a weird relationship with Bonds of Ancestry today. Of like, that card is way better than I think.
Oh, it's super good. I think a lot of people were excited when it was revealed.
Because it's kind of just go grab.
Yeah.
Go thin your deck, go grab, go damage. Like, the
Right.
whole thing is good for Katsu.
100%. I think you're seeing that's why so much representation out here. Just really consistent lines now coming out of Katsu. I think what's just missing is a little spice, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of some spicy builds, but playing your chain out like that, I know as Viserai just playing the Shrill, Mordred, and Mobskies and the Rosetta, that can just win you games by just continuing that pressure.
Right.
So pressure's good.
And I think what's interesting is when you do the old way of thinking of, I'm not going to block Surging Strike because there's a Whelming Gust Wave later, and then it's Descending Gust Wave, you're like, oh, God. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I was blocking an on-hit instead of just raw damage, but here we are. The only thing that happens after Descendant that adds anything is Bonds of Ancestry, right? There's not another thing after Descendant? I think it's just
I think, no, there's Dishonor, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Dishonor
Yeah.
comes after Bonds of Ancestry. We're bumping it to get the bonus damage. Bonds of Ancestry 0 for 5. He's just going to
Pull
0
back.
for 5, 0 for 5.
He's going to put the other Dishonor on. He's going to be Dishonor twice.
And if he throws that, he's like, where's my third copy of Dishonor? Oh, yeah, I threw it at my opponent.
Probably wasn't the best idea to take the thing that's supposed to be in my graveyard and throw it at my opponent.
That was the one.
That was
he
the banished one.
banished,
Yeah.
He was like, where's the third? Oh, my God, he did it again.
Blake would have stood up. Blake would have stood up in fury by now.
Hopefully, Alan
Excuse me,
has
sir.
Blood Rush number 2.
At
I
9,
don't
he does
think so.
not have that Blood Rush number 2. Alan's doing his best to block out a just Art of War turn, which we've all been here. We've all been underneath those
Right.
clouds, feeling the
See,
pressure.
I was back in the day, I was playing Bravo, and Katsu would always eat my lunch. And then Katsu kind of fell out of favor whenever Oldham showed up, so that was the year and a half that I was playing Brute.
Yeah,
But Brute against Katsu is not fun.
yeah. No,
and
no.
obviously, Fi is a whole different story as well. But, like, a resurgent ninja meta is not what Levia and Reinhardt are hoping for, I don't think.
I think we're going to still see more traditional Levia builds struggle a bit until they get more shadow things.
Right.
Reinhardt also will benefit from hopefully more brute things, not just shadow things that might come out in the upcoming set. But we just need to go to the Savage Lands. You know, we're outsiders right now. The assassins, the archers, they got the free presence.
In 8 months, we may have support. Let's go.
Yeah, always to the future. Always looking to the horizon. Alan Dishonor twice. At 9, and I think Peter's gonna look for almost a Kadachi lock, but we're gonna do another surging, the yellow one.
There's no blood debt yet, but that endless
Correct.
maw will be a blood debt soon.
If
But
he can
maybe-
discard it.
Yeah, or
Right.
yeah, if it's in his banished zone.
And the Small's just a good card, good value. He's giving up the tunic.
We're blocking. And I think what sucks is like block, pitch 2 to swing the claw is kind of not good enough.
No, it's not
Just
gonna be enough
claw
to
back
trade.
in.
And especially because you know that Peter's next chain most likely is gonna be as massive, like at
Bonds
least
of-
4.
So right now, if you're watching at home, here's why Bonds of Ancestry is good. We're not going to Let's go!
So
Flusterfist.
Flusterfist is pretty great here. Flusterfist is just a 0 for 4 red, from my understanding, and it blocks 3. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. So it's just good value. Good break point.
He has Beast Within as his only 6, so he can't use that Blood Rush Bellow. Just bad day to be, not bad day, bad round to be Levia of drawing kind of weird while you're also getting Gust, and Waved. He's going to block with those 2 cards. Definitely going to put the Blood Rush Bellow in Arsenal to try and have a way back in.
Alan has to pray that Peter's next hand isn't going to be as optimal because he doesn't have an Arsenal, so it's not going to be as wide. But
I'm checking. Does Peter run the short and sharp for game? No. You remember short and sharp?
Which one's short and sharp?
Short and sharp is the brand new outsider card.
Okay.
That your dagger can go from 1 to 4 out of nowhere, and you're just like.
Oh, is it the one where he's like diving down?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That would be the worst.
He does have razors.
We're gonna pitch Blood Rush.
He does have
swing a claw.
All right. Well, that's all you can do. Put some pressure on. It's gonna go down to 9. Alan says, please not have the whelming Gust Line hand.
And it's gonna happen though. We all know.
Kodachis, when you're at 4 health, feel so massive.
Was that a no? He does have this rounds on me. He just did never draw it.
He just did not draw this rounds on me, correct?
What's the point of playing tech cards if you can't draw them?
In the first 2 turns, yeah, I know.
We're gonna Snapdragons and immediately play Lord of Wind. Nope, we're gonna Command and Conquer.
He does have it now. This round, but he had to use it to block. Alan's in a situation where he's gonna get Kodachi locked right now.
Immediately Kodachi locked.
Yeah.
The 0 for 4 block, sink below coming in clutch, because we won't take a damage from that on this round.
Yep.
But Peter's just gonna be able to initiative Alan into death.
Correct. Very fast game, very well played so far, but it just seemed that Katsu was able to create consistent damage, consistent pressure against Levia, and
then he goes, I have a 5 damage attack, so your 4 block means nothing. It does mean something.
He arsenaled it.
Surviving to minute 39. Draw 4 cards, Kodachi lock. Draw 4 cards, Kodachi lock.
I wake up, I put on my cowboy hat.
Yeah.
All right, block, and there's the razor for the finish. GG. Very fast games played by 2 very skilled players.
Oh my God, what a hater!
He had to show him through the 2 Dishonoreds on the Levia. Peter coming all the way out from Vegas today to play.
Yes, to dishonor people.
To dishonor people, throw it on their hero. Having a fun time.
I guess that's kind of like lore, or what is it, canon, or whatever. Like dishonor somebody by throwing a card at them.
Sure. I think there should be a token when you're dishonored. We should make it.
Just my face, but like this. Or you look like you've been through the ringer.
Yeah, when we get the Fab Metal token dishonored.
I think what's frustrating about Alan is like you have good cards in your deck, you just don't get to play them if you're blocking the whole time.
It's very true, and Ninja will make you block the whole time.
We see the Humble in here.
Super great.
What's Humble doing?
Humble turns off the hero.
So you can't go grab a Gust Wave from your hero
for the
power.
Turn. If you hit a Briar, they can't make embodiments.
Right.
Super
dishonoring
solid.
them for a turn.
Correct. Yeah, you're pretty much like dishonoring for a turn. It's very useful for buying space, in my opinion, and just wanting to have a generic red 6. I think I wanted it to always be what Erase Face did, but now we get Humble, which is exactly the turnoff I was looking for.
Because like which hero okay, you got Bravo on the time he wants to. Bravo hero power is like we're only doing that when we're so far ahead.
Yeah.
So you're not. It's not going to be when you get humbled. It's not going to happen to Bravo. Oh, we turn off Intimidate. Cool. I didn't care about it anyway. We turn off Dory's hero power. That's gross.
Super gross.
Humble Dory all day long.
Yep.
Humble Katsu could basically save damage coming at me.
Humble Viscerai. Humble Briar.
Kano is good luck. Goodbye. You're done.
I guess humbling Levia would mess her up a bit.
One turn?
Because she couldn't turn off the Blood Debt.
Yeah, that would be
depending
rough.
on when it would happen.
If you got that Levia meta, put 1 Humble in your deck and
it's always that one person.
the first time. True. Yeah. Short break, and then Peter Buddensiek from the Katsu the Wanderer fame will be on street.
See you guys soon.
Boop, boop, boop.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I'm here with Peter. Peter, we just saw you perform a great game with Katsu. Tell us a little more about it.
That was one of the most wild games I probably played in a long time. Not gonna lie. Like going into it, obviously, Levia, I have no idea if it's gonna be like a Blood Debt version or like a just generic like blockout kind of thing. So when the dishonor line hit, I was like, "There's no way, right? Like you just die."
Because that'll be like an auto loss. Yeah.
It's like pretty much an auto loss if it's the Blood Debt version, right? And then obviously he wasn't. He was just playing like a generic like brute deck basically.
He told me it's Reinhardt with a couple Levia cards.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so we were laughing because we knew that, and then you're like, they were like, he's gonna let it hit.
Yeah. And he didn't even have Carrion Husk too, which was like the first indicator. I was like, oh, this is probably like a fatigue deck, but like I was like, this line's already here, so let me play it. But no, it was pretty interesting. The beast,
the beast within was crazy. That was like 7 damage off that beast within. 8 damage.
Yeah, because it counts the card that
you
it takes.
drew as well. Yeah. No, that was absolutely insane. I've seen Alan take those beast withins and still win. I was hopeful, but you were able to put really consistent pressure on the board.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this new Katsu list kind of has been focusing on. I've been seeing at least is it can create very consistent like 3-4 chain lines that give your opponent no room.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Something that I think a lot of people didn't see when Outsider came out, because like a lot of the hype was around how Ranger's going to do, like, Assassin's a new hero. Well, not a new hero, but it's like a new class, basically.
Class, yeah.
And it's getting like, there's new Zuri, there's Riptide coming out and stuff like that. But something that I didn't see a lot of is people talking about like the new ninja cards. And I think the new ninja cards do actually a decent amount for Katsu as a whole. One of the biggest things why Fi was a lot better than Katsu for the last couple of metas was that Katsu's prone to being needing to hit, like have on hits, right? And a lot of that is kind of, and you're a little inconsistent because like the middle of your lines don't usually have go again. But something that Outsiders actually did a lot of is that the middle part of the lines, like Descendant Gust Wave and like Bonds, have have either natural go again or go again naturally without you needing to have like the entire line. And I liked how they did a lot of the make surging into 2 different lines as well. That like Bonds also works with both lines to get you the cards that you need, right?
Yeah.
So you still have like the Lord of Wind combo line, but now you have a surging line that allows you to do it's more damage than the Lord of Wind combo, but doesn't shuffle things in, and now turns off a hero ability, which is like insanely strong, right?
On certain matchups, I saw right away that first thing you saw Levia, you found that line, you found Dishonor, like I need this to start to hit right now because this affects my game, going forward.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge.
Dishonored, I think is a better early game card. Seeing it later isn't as impactful, obviously. Any other kind of spicy things? I see you have one Cyclone Roundhouse in here.
Yes.
Explain that one a little bit.
It is part of my Oldham sideboard. So I'm basically playing like a 51 card deck where I'm never taking out any of those 51 cards, and then I'm just putting 9 in. Versus Oldham, I'm playing 69 cards exactly.
Nice.
I definitely planned that.
Nice.
But basically, Cyclone Roundhouse is for the inevitable late game when you have against Oldham is if you don't have enough go again, a lot of your attacks is just to be like 1-1, play a third attack or play a big attack, right? What Cyclone Roundhouse can do is if the one right before it is spinning wheel kick, it's just like a generic 1-for-4. If you like, it has combo. If you've played Twin Sisters, it gets like +1 and goes to the bottom of your deck. But I don't run Twin Sisters unless I hit with Be Like Water. But basically what Cyclone does is that it banishes a card every chain link. So if they do Crown Shield like they usually do, and then I do Spinning Wheel Kick into Cyclone Roundhouse, it will exile a Rampart, and then he will never get Rampart back.
That's insane. Yeah,
so
that's super powerful.
It makes it so, like, if you can get it in the early game or the mid game, that if you get to those late game inevitabilities, your Kodachi still chip him down. And when, like, Oldham, usually Fatigue deck or, like, a decent control deck is getting pitched down by 1-1 pretty much every single turn, that's when you can really start getting an advantage against him.
Oh, yeah. That makes complete sense. And you were mentioning Be Like Water.
Yes.
That seems to be a big key component.
Yeah,
has really made a lot of this start functioning.
Be Like Water is one of those cards that's like was pretty undervalued when I originally looked at it, but it's pretty interesting, right? So obviously, I think it was designed as a limited card to being able for you to have a starter that could be multiple things, right? that's something that like, I actually really looked forward to when I saw a lot of the mechanics in Limited, that they put a lot of like the starters as like multi things, and that it's really good design philosophy as well, because you have multiple ninjas that needs to be working in different ways, and especially in like WTR Limited, like sometimes you would have like parts of lines and you would hope it worked together.
I remember
But
that. Yeah.
now it's a lot more consistent, a lot more better, and I really appreciate them putting in the time to do that as well. But Be Like Water is just a 0 for 3, so it's just a head jab, right?
Yep.
It basically is taking the slot of 100 wins was in Katsu,
Mm-hmm.
but the upside of it is it becomes basically surging. So I get to play the 3 red surgings, the 3 yellow surgings, and then Be Like Water is basically a like 7th, 8th, and 9th surging
Yep.
if it hits. And it's just like, it's like 0 for 3, and it still asks the question, like every single time Katsu puts a card out that's part of a line, it asks the question, does he have the natural in hand, or does he need Katsu
A little more effort
to hit to like
get
get
over
in
it.
there, right?
Yep.
Which is really interesting. Be Like Water has impressed me a lot.
Oh, that's great. That seeing those really power crept commons and rares coming into the deck always feels refreshing.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just the M's or the L's,
Yes,
but the
yes,
C's and the R's getting exactly
role
what you
players.
want. Yeah,
The role
yeah.
players.
Yep.
Hey, it takes 16 people to win a basketball championship. The role players are there.
Yeah, 100%. Those people, those cards make a huge difference in your deck. Anything else you'd like to point out that you think is a little spicy, a little bit of your own that you think people are kind of sleeping on with the Katsu builds right now?
I think Visit the Floating Dojo is like pretty interesting. It's pretty good as just as just like a like anti-fatigue thing, but how I look at it is that yes, you're like one card less if you're gonna play Remembrance, right? It's like the most Remembrance card there is.
Yep.
But like you get to put Surging plus another combo card. Basically means that you can play Floating Dojo in the mid game. And just like I have a 4-card hand, you only use 3 cards. You use Floating Dojo just to put another like surging another line, and then if you draw a blue, you just have a surging line next turn, right? So it just the consistency of the deck goes up immensely, and it's a good anti-fatigue strategy. I think the real key of this deck is I have like 13 or so cards for Oldham because honestly, going into it, I really thought Oldham was going to be the worst matchup, and it feels pretty free.
Interesting.
After, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I played it round 1. It feels pretty. Obviously, played a really great player, but like
Yeah.
I think that like it's kind of free to where like I have so many cards that they're still learning to play around that it's just like I'm so hard. I have like a links package in my sideboard where I'm playing like these random cards. Like it's just like the end stuff. It's like Whelming Gust Wave. It's Descendant Gust Wave, yellow, both yellows, and then I have a blue Bonds. And so you can get it off links, and then you can exile it and go get it. Obviously, you can get the Lore Wind, or you can get the Dishonor as with the links as well. But it gets that little consistency in the middle as well.
You say you play a very 60-card deck, except against Oldham. Do you find, because we were seeing in one of the Katsu games earlier, that fatigue might be an issue? You're getting all your power stuff early, you're fetching it, but if they can beat you or block out kind of the early couple turns, that you kind of start running out of threats as time goes on.
I feel like if you're running out of threats, you're probably not. You're either not drawing it in the correct manner that you need to like be able to have like the cool like lines in there, or you're probably misrepresenting like how damage works on like on the chain links, right?
Okay.
Like in this game, I missed like a couple of Kodachi swings that I probably should have done beforehand or done after as well, and like making decisions like that is perfectly fine. But like when you go back and like watch your games or like think about your games, every single time that you miss a point of damage is like basically you losing a game because like the amount of times that like you lose and somebody else is won and it's a close game, you could
you could go back.
You could always edge
play it in
out.
your
But,
head.
like,
Yeah.
even in victories, like I still see like, hey man, I probably would miss like 5-6 damage that game just from like rustiness of not playing enough Katsu games.
Definitely
But
been a
yeah,
while.
I think that like obviously getting fatigued is pretty difficult because of Kodachis specifically.
Yeah.
Oldham's really the only one that can fatigue you through Kodachis.
Gotcha.
Because just the constant like 1-1 play an attack or 2 attacks, like they still have to block the other attacks or take a whole bunch of damage, and then it gets you closer to the 20 turn Kodachi kills basically.
Okay, I think that's very insightful. Definitely playing to your weapons if you feel like they're doing that and slow playing your first opening turns for sure. Well, that's great. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for coming out. You came all the way from
100%.
Vegas.
Yes, 100%.
Always in the pursuit of apparently being a master, even in the win. So that's great to talk to you. First time, I think.
I'm a wanderer, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you're the wanderer. You came all the way.
the revenge story. I got
coming back for
I
that
kinda got
revenge. Bringing
destroyed.
the floating dojo with wisdom. Always looking for perfection. We'll probably be seeing you in top 8. You're 3-4-0.
3-1. I'm
Three-
pretty
you're
sure
3-1.
every 3-1 that loses the last round is locked. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll definitely might see you again in the top. Good luck with the rest of your rounds. I
Yeah,
appreciate your
100%,
time.
man.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. We'll be coming right back with another round.